So this staff, again, I always bring them up here because they deserve it. And they get, I try to give them credit. And I know some of you try to give them opportunities to have that focus put upon them. They're all big time people. Calvert can't go off campus right now outside of what he did in the spring when we had the change in staff. But it's as invaluable to this staff on campus as there could possibly be. Marnie should be sitting up here. Marnie Mooney, Janae Jackson. Those people there are X factors in the program. There are X factors in recruiting. And we don't have a recruiting meal that Marnie and Janae and Calvert wouldn't be at, just like we don't have a recruit, whether it's an unofficial visit or a 2-day visit, where they're not going to spend ample and quality time, because that's when the program sells itself. It really sells itself when they can see the environment, and they can see us play, and they can see the crowd, or they can see a Hoosier hysteria. I think it helps sell it when they can see us practice and they can see the player development that's going on. But when they get on this campus and they spend time with the staff, and then they get around these players and they see the humbleness, the togetherness, the humility that our team is that our program is trying to envelop. It doesn't always work that way, and we don't always have that. I'm not saying we don't make mistakes with it, but that's what I think comes across. Well, our coaching staff leads the way on that. They make the job so much easier for me and for the players and for this university because of the work that they do. And it's top to bottom. I mean, that's what's so great about it. We don't, everybody recruiting-wise, there might be somebody that's the point person in that recruiting, and I think that's important, because you've got to have a place where you go for, okay, what's the main communication on this person? What are we hearing? And there's someone that has to maybe be the one that spearheads that and puts it all together. But when it comes to how we separate the recruiting, it's everybody. It's never, I never worked in an environment where it was my guy or his person's guy. I would never coach in that environment, because we don't coach them that way when they're here. So it's never, well, Steve's got these 2 guys and Tim's got those 3 guys and Calvert's got that guy. It doesn't work like that. You know, people develop different relationships over a period of time, but this is a staff that's out there to show that we are selling something that's real, and that's a family atmosphere. And I'm proud of what they're doing.
Now everybody's able to see what our product is. Before, we used to have to describe it and what it was going to look like. And then I think the other thing that is such a key component, especially where coach is concerned, is everybody graduates that comes through the program. Now more and more of them are graduating early. That's obviously very important to family and parents, but then also the second contract guys in the NBA. Some guys just want to get to the NBA, and if that's the case, that doesn't mean you're going to last. His guys have lasted in the NBA, and they've made it when maybe they were looked at as underdogs, and I think the player development is obviously there, and now it's showing with our Indiana guys as well.
And I think Tim said it. That's the other part, that as we recruit and these young guys walk in and see Will and see Vic and see the development, because, again, you can sell it, but people have to see it, and parents have to see it, and it's real. I think you've heard Coach use that word a couple times. It's real. It isn't something that's made up. It's right there for them to see, and not just those two. You know, and we can't ever talk about names, but to walk in on an unofficial visit on a Friday night, sit in the conference room, hear a ball bouncing, walk out with the kid. It's 10 o'clock on a Friday night, and Cody Zeller's in Cook Hall working on his game. That's real. You didn't set it up. It wasn't made-believe. It was a young guy watching one of the best players in the country working on his game at 10 o'clock on Friday night. That's what kids and parents are seeing.
Well, I mean, there's a culture that's been established here, and there's also a standard that's pretty easy to see, you know, when you become a part of the program. And the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a great understanding of what first and foremost what Coach Crean sees, and then you know, through discussions with what I consider to be 2 great mentors, Coach McLean and Coach Buckley, and also understanding that the work that Calvert, Marnie, and Janae have done and are doing with the guys, you go through the process of trying to identify people that fit that culture. So, you know, when you go through, when you're doing that, when you have that baseline of information, it's pretty easy to see the type of individuals that are fit into the program. Then you have to go out and identify whether they have that same interest in the program. And, you know, when you meet the families and understand what their value system is, and you see the players, you understand what their goals are. You know, do they want to actually be developed? Do they want to work? You know, how much do they value their education? When you identify people who have all those common threads, you know, you try to introduce them to the program, and things have worked out well.
Without a doubt. 6 guys that will be here. I mean, they bring a lot of great skills to the game: size, length, athleticism, but more importantly, as Coach has already talked about, great character. They're great kids, and they have great character, and that's what this program is all about. And the thing I love about Coach Crean and what I respect about Coach Crean is the fact that he's able to go beyond basketball. So whether they play over at the next level or not, obviously some of these guys' dreams, but Coach he's all about trying to make them better people, and whether they play at the next level or not, or become a rocket scientist or a doctor or a lawyer or something like that, he just wants them to be the best they can possibly be when it's all said and done when they graduate, and that's